Hey guys, so one of the things I've really struggled with is trying to find consistent information on how much food to pack on a multi-day backpacking trip. I've seen a whole range of different calculations, anywhere from 2,500 to 4,500 calories per day, 1.5 to 2.5 pounds of food per day, or even 21 to 25 calories per pound of body weight. There's even calculators out there that have you factor in your body weight, pack weight, and a host of other things, and for me that's just never really worked. It seems like if I run through those calculators, I always end up with some ridiculous number like 5,000 calories per day. And if you're spending less than a week on the trail, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I'll throw in a quick disclaimer here. I'm not a thru hiker, and I'm not setting up a food bag for a 3-month hike or 4-month hike or thousands of miles on the trail at one time. This is strictly for shorter backpacking trips. Before I get into my tips on how to pack food accurately and more efficiently, I also want to say that backpacking gear is extremely personal, and what works for me may not work for you. But also, ultimately, I think that overcomplicating this subject just really takes away from the experience. So let's get into some of my tips on how to pack your food smarter. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see what I would pack for a 3-day backpacking trip. So tip number 1, make sure to bring food that you would eat off trail. I know for a lot of you this seems very simple, but it's a mistake that I've seen over and over. When you're 50 miles away from the nearest gas station or grocery store, now's not the time to figure out that you hate granola, dried fruit, and trail mix. And as I alluded to earlier, chances are if you're watching this video, you're probably not a thru hiker. So you don't need all of the chocolate covered Twinkies and the peanut butter covered ramen and the super high calorie candy bars. Planning your meals on a short backpacking trip is much different than planning your food for a thru hike. I think with the increase in popularity in thru hiking, that's made this food subject much more complicated than it actually is. Tip number 2, variety. Even if you do love trail mix, granola, dried fruit, peanut butter, whatever it is, make sure to bring some variety to keep you wanting to eat your food at the end of the day. If you're carrying meals that you don't want to eat at the end of the day and you ended up wasting food, that's just weight that you're carrying around for no reason. I don't care if a particular food has the highest calories per ounce, if I can't eat it, it's no good to me. Even if you have a favorite freeze-dried food brand, make sure to switch it up between at least flavors or maybe even brands as well. And lastly, tip number 3, let's talk about packing style. This bag is roughly 3.5 pounds and contains almost 7,000 calories. For those of you that want to know the specifics on this food bag, I'll make sure to put a slide in here with all the details. For some of you out there, you probably can't imagine how I could fit 7,000 calories into this little 6-liter dry sack. And the big reason why is because the food you're buying is packaged poorly. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the difference between a good-to-go meal and a Mountain House meal. As you can see right off the bat, the good-to-go meal is much smaller than the Mountain House meal. Not only that, but if you look at a side profile, the way that the good-to-go meal packs down is much, much thinner than the way a Mountain House meal packs down. You can fit 2 or 3 of these back to back in the same space that one of these Mountain House meals takes up. I should also note that this isn't even the biggest Mountain House meal that I've seen. Some of them are massive. I'm sure that some of you out there might be quick to point out that this should have more calories than something like this, but that's not the case. And this is a Heather's Choice breakfast meal. Look at how small this thing packs down. This is a fraction of the size of the Mountain House meal, and it has 530 calories in 4 ounces, and this has 450 calories in 3.3 ounces. So this is a higher calorie per ounce and a much smaller package than this is. So that's about it for this portion of the video. Let's get into what I actually packed for a 3-day backpacking trip. So the first thing I'm pulling out is my snack bag. Normally a lot of this would end up in my hip belt pockets for easy access while hiking, but for the purposes of this video, I packed it all into one bag. And you can see right here on the bottom, I have my toothbrush and toothpaste. That normally gets stored in here as well because bears can be attracted to the minty scent. So this gets hung in the tree with my food at the end of the night. So next are my meals. I've got 3 breakfasts, 3 dinners, and 2 extra sides just in case I'm hungry on a particular day. I'll get into more specifically which meals these are in one of the next sections. All of these are freeze-dried meals. And at the bottom of my food bag, I always keep a titanium spork and my hang kit. My hang kit is nothing special, it's just some paracord and a carabiner. And there's nothing really special about my titanium spork. It just has a really long handle and it was pretty cheap. And there you go, 3 days worth of backpacking food without overdoing it. So my final take is, don't overanalyze the calories or calories per ounce on food. Consider the packaging on the food you're using. Make sure to bring food that you would eat off trail, and make sure to bring a lot of variety. At the end of the day, if you ask 5 different people what they packed for a 3-day backpacking trip, you'll get 5 different answers. Do what feels right to you, and make sure to get out there and explore. If you gained any value out of this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below on what your food bag looks like. Thank you.